Welcome back to the show, Reds. This is the Shankly Sessions, the Liverpool podcast we bring you as part of the upper tier. If you could subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification button, and of course drop a like on the video, the most important thing that we need for you in order to break that YouTube algorithm. Quick reflection back on this week and stuff like that, which was going to be a pivotal week for Liverpool in both their title and Champions League credentials. Midweek, Real Madrid sat them right down, and again we're looking at two games here where the scoreline really flattered the opponent. When you think about it, we really should have beaten Real Madrid by more. Conor Bradley, what a job he did on Kylian Mbappe, absolutely phenomenal, but all round, everywhere, just up for it in every single facet of the game. And then we come into this big game. Again, rivals still questioning, when are we going to play a big team, when are we going to do this, when are we going to play anybody, all this kind of thing. Man City arrive at Anfield under a lot of pressure. They're in a really bad run of form. We see Pep absolutely scratching the noggin off himself and all these kind of things going on. Players, a lot of chit chat, a lot of not happy and stuff like that. In some respects, when you see the way the City players are reacting, it kind of reminds me just a tad bit like us last season. Remember when there was a lot of finger pointing when things weren't going right, and when goals are going in, people pointing at each other and stuff like that and all. There's no I in team, as they say, you know. Yeah, looking at the game yesterday, again another game that flattered the opponent really. 2-0, could have been 6. Literally gave them no chance at all. Dominated. First 20 minutes the game should have been over. Then we get the goal. The goal was absolutely sublime. Ball from Trent into Mo Salah. Mo Salah with literally half a foot to put a ball through in between their defence and their keeper. Puts it on a play for Cody Gakpo. And as Mo said himself, they're the type of balls that world-class players should expect of themselves. And absolutely, we are humming at the moment in every facet. Virgil van Dijk, yes, they forget about the mistake with De Bruyne, was absolutely sublime in every bit of it. Joe Gomez coming in, we didn't even know there was a change. And this is where you see a real true team and stuff like that, where you have a team operating as a unit and you can switch out little parts and stuff like that, and it's irrelevant, and that's what it was yesterday. Joe Gomez, absolutely phenomenal, shepherding everything there with Virgil van Dijk. Trent back in the side as well, looking as only Trent can look, really, really, really good. Ryan Gravenberch again pulling the strings, got an early booking as well, which kind of, you know, took him a little bit out of the game, not quite himself and stuff like that, but was also absolutely phenomenal. Great to see Harvey coming back on as well after the foot injury, was an absolute pleasure to see. Quansah going in at right back, Trent coming off. Everyone thought Quansah was going to go into the middle and Joe was going to switch to the right back, but didn't happen. Quansah at right back shuts Doku down, shuts Jeremy Doku down. It was having a little bit of joy on that side and stuff like that, but again, when you look at this City side at the moment, void of confidence. Everything seems very laboured, everything is second questioned. Haaland never in the game at all. Quavine coming up when he had to, when De Bruyne broke through off that mistake from Van Dijk. Van Dijk just so relaxed and stuff like that. These games just seem so easy for him, yet we're up against top opposition at times. But phenomenal all around. Mo Salah, incredible. Steps up during the week, misses a penalty. Give me that ball. Everyone's losing their mind. What's Mo Salah doing? Casually playing keepy uppies in front of the Man City players, as only Mo Salah can do. And a beautiful penalty as well. Pick the opposite side this time as well. Ortega flying out as well for the penalty as well. And a lot of the work that we see, like a lot of people question Darwin Núñez and the chaos and all that kind of stuff. It was Darwin Núñez that led to the break for that penalty. He got stuck into those two boys there. And that's what we forget as well. Sometimes we miss that second or third phase back and stuff like that. And we go, well, did he produce or didn't he produce? And that's where you see it there. And there's a lot of that happening in the team at the moment. For City, it's hard to know where they go till January. Tough for Pep, and you can see throwing up the sixes and stuff like that, and all the fans are getting in on him, and he wasn't happy about hearing that. This is an uncomfortable position for Pep Guardiola to be in. Him or City have never been in this position before. Down in 5th now, and really struggling. Everything looking laboured. Doku not producing, second guessing. turning back out when he comes inside and stuff like that. Had plenty of opportunities yesterday to put the ball in the box, second guessing himself, doesn't do it. Having said that, not many runs going into the box either. It was highlighted on Match of the Day. I don't know what's happened to Haaland. He's just not making those runs that he used to make and stuff like that, and just being taken out of games and just looking anonymous. You got the midfield, Matheus Nunes really trying hard in there, but just simply not good enough. But a real struggle at the moment, and we said it even prior to this run of games, that they were heavily reliant on Vardiol and Kovacic. And when both those boys aren't there, that is just sapped out of the team. So big trouble there for Man City. Do I expect them to fix up? I think they will fix up. I think they will potentially go on a run. I'm not too sure. I think it might not be the run that we normally associate with them. I think it might be like maybe win 3 or 4 games, lose and draw a game, win 3 or 4 games, lose and draw a game. It might be that kind of staggered way to get back there again. I think they will blow their absolute load in the January window. I think there's a lot of players there where there's a lot of questions at the moment. Grealish again producing absolutely nothing. Hasn't scored in over a year, and I think it's been God knows how long since an assist and all that kind of stuff in the Prem. Big trouble there for Man City. And there was a lot of pressure on Liverpool going into that game yesterday, because obviously there's been questions over, when we play the big teams and all this kind of stuff. But not only that as well, we've had to sit back and watch Arsenal perform and do a number on West Ham. We've had to watch Chelsea absolutely slaughter Aston Villa. What a goal by Cole Palmer, by the way. And we've also seen United absolutely look sublime as well. So those 3 teams, who are coming up there and racing up there as well, we've seen them all perform really well and bounce back. So we had to go out and win, because even though the gap is 11 points to Man City and 9 points to Arsenal and stuff like that, it only takes a win and a loss to change that whole narrative. And that's why we have to be so careful. Now, looking into this week, we got Newcastle away at St James's. Newcastle with a lot of problems at the moment. Eddie Howe just being spoken about constantly about being sacked. A lot of information in the background there about the Saudi investment. Not happy with their investment. Not happy with not being able to invest and not potentially wanting to invest and all. And that maybe they might, walk away from the Newcastle project. You have a lot of players there in the Newcastle as well that are just absolutely below average at best. You've seen them against Palace there at the weekend. Absolutely shocking. But because of what Eddie Howe achieved with them being in relegation and bringing them all the way up to the Champions League, and maybe he set the bar very high by doing that, and that's the expectation, they find themselves in a lot of trouble at the moment. Their performances are really poor, and Liverpool should go up there and get the win at St James's. I think we'll have too much for them. Now, having said that, very easy to get motivated in a week where you have Real Madrid and Man City, and we have seen in the past, and I don't expect it under Slot, that's for sure. But we have seen in the past where you can have that motivation to go out there and put on these big performances against these big teams, these iconic matches. Then when you do go to a Newcastle and St James's, it can come a little bit unstuck. But I don't think that will be the case. I think this Liverpool team is humming at the moment. I think Arne Slot's doing a phenomenal job. I mean, to come in there on the back of Klopp leaving and to do what he's done so far has just been, I don't think I've ever experienced it. I've never seen it anywhere ever. It's just been phenomenal. And it's just, to be honest with you, it's not spoken about enough, and that suits us perfect. Because we don't want that. We don't want that unnecessary attention. But I think it's been phenomenal, and I think the way he talks about it as well, and his in-game management and his coaching and all that kind of stuff. Remember, at its core, this is the team that we had last season. We brought in Chiesa. He hasn't kicked snow off a rope. We signed Marmadashvili. He's for next season or whatever it is. And there's a lot of questions there as well. Should Caoimhín Kelleher be maintaining his place? Does Alisson come back in? What's your thoughts on that? Caoimhín has been outstanding in those games. So yeah, there's definitely a case for that. Let's see how Arne approaches it. But yeah, Newcastle now coming up on Wednesday, St James's. Hopefully get the win there. And obviously Arsenal playing against Man United. Always an interesting fixture. United looking awesome yesterday. Maybe not so much in the first 20 minutes, half an hour, but once they got that deflected goal in, they just took over and ran the show. Everything were a spent force. And I think that'll be an interesting game. And do we live in a world where United beat Arsenal? And do we live in a world where Liverpool beat Newcastle? And that gap is then 12 points? Arsenal fans absolutely raging at the moment. Loads to be in our position, taking advantage of this drop off from Man City. This is kind of what they were waiting for, and they're not there to take advantage. So their thoughts to Liverpool are really, really poor at the moment, because they feel that that's where they should be, and they're not. Chelsea doing really, really good as well under Maresca. A brilliant win against Aston Villa. Questions over Emery at the moment, his worst run of games. But yeah, let's see how that goes as well. That's going to be interesting. Cole Palmer, what a goal. What a goal. And good to see the lad get a goal against top 6, top 7 opposition, stuff like that, because they're the games he has struggled in. But he was phenomenal yesterday. And Chelsea as a team were phenomenal yesterday. Absolutely blew Aston Villa away. Aston Villa still trying to, I don't think they did enough in the market, but still trying to find that balance between Champions League football, where they are doing really well, and the Premier League, and trying to find the balance between the two. So let's see how it goes. Reds onwards and upwards. I mean, there's just no stopping this train at the moment. The Liverpool train hasn't pulled into the station yet, and it's just absolutely bombing forward. So much more we could say about it, so much plaudits we could give. Every man to a player. The work rate of Szoboszlai, unbelievable. McAllister yesterday, just incredible. And again, as I said, two of the best teams in the world, Real Madrid, La Liga and European champions, Man City, Premier League champions, absolutely blown away with scorelines that did not even tell the tale of the game. Until next time, Reds, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification button and drop a like on the video. Up the top of the tables, Reds. Let's go.